Welcome, everyone. We will give everybody about a minute before we get started. Just settle in, and we will start shortly. At this point, I think it's 1 minute past, so we will get started. And let me introduce myself. My name is Gregory Shapinkov. I am based out of Ireland in Dublin, and I am currently a customer success manager, and I love doing those webinars. And we also have Justin Conrad, who is also a customer success manager, and he'll be helping us with Q&A during the session. So today we're going to be covering AI-powered DevSecOps platform. So we're going to go through what GitLab has to offer in AI space, what kind of vision we have, and then obviously feel free to ask questions throughout, and at the end, hopefully there's a bit of time as well for you to do this. So yeah, let's get started. For the Q&A session, however, you have the Q&A option, so feel free to ask your questions there. Okay, so to set the context, AI is one of the kind of biggest technology changes that happened in decades. And when it comes to software development, it fundamentally changed the way the software is developed, secured, and operated. And today, I'd like to share with you how GitLab differentiated approach to AI and some of the existing AI-powered features we're developing, and how we went from DevOps platform to DevSecOps platform. And now, on top of that, we have AI-powered DevSecOps platform. So this just got complicated more, and in my experience, in my view, a whole lot cooler. So before we kind of continue with that, a little bit more on AI and ML and how they're becoming well established in software development workflows, so including for security testing and code checks. So this year, more than half, so about 65% of developers said they are using AI/ML in testing efforts, or will be in the next 3 years, according to the survey that we've done. And the use case for AI in software development goes beyond code generation. It also goes beyond the developer persona as well. And we are taking a holistic approach when it comes to integrating AI in the software development lifecycle, as we have always done. So at GitLab, we believe AI is transformational, and the real opportunity goes way beyond creating code, because it's just a start. Writing code comprises a small fraction of the total time software developers spend going from idea to production. According to Tidelift, as of May 3rd, 2023, that's interesting because developers spend on average less than 40% of their time writing code. And there's an opportunity to make that 60% of the time as efficient as they spend time coding. This is kind of a shocking, to be honest, to me personally. I never thought that developers spend so little time coding. And as an example, one of the customers, a large insurance company in Spain, noted that the code completion is an exciting development for their team, but for them, developers writing code is only 10% of the process, which puts into a bit of perspective. So according to them, it makes them about 40% more efficient in only 10% of the process, which puts, again, in a further perspective and highlights the unmet need to increase efficiency throughout the whole software development lifecycle here, but not just the code creation. Because I think as of right now in the industry, there's a bit of a focus on the code creation part rather than looking at the whole picture. So let's take a look at what GitLab has to offer and how we are taking that kind of holistic approach. And AI has become, over the last couple of months, central to our DevSecOps platform. And GitLab currently is the most comprehensive AI-powered enterprise DevSecOps platform. And in our vision, to us, it's clear that we believe that AI should be integrated throughout the whole software development lifecycle, so that everyone can leverage it in their roles, not just developers. Far from it. We believe responsible use of AI is, first of all, privacy first, so that our customers can protect their intellectual property. It's very important. And we believe that when incorporated into single DevSecOps application like GitLab, AI will amplify the benefits of the platform approach. Teams will have greater visibility in metrics. Developers will spend less time context switching, which has always been a problem, from tasks to tasks. Security compliance measures will be more robust, and business leaders will get more efficiency in reducing tool sprawl, as something that we've seen all around has been a problem. And when delivered again through a single application, we believe that AI will result in about 10x improvements in workflow efficiency. So we know that privacy is a concern, especially at enterprise level. So that is why we're taking a privacy-first approach to designing AI-assisted capabilities. I think that's why we are different in that space. We prioritize privacy. So our single application is enterprise-ready, allowing you to scale as you need without compromising compliance or security. It's already built in. So we're building AI capabilities with API protection, privacy, and compliance in mind. As of right now, we're not going into a lot of detail. Later on, we're going to go through the features. And if you have any questions around how we're doing privacy or compliance, feel free to ask us. We can share documentation. On code suggestions, for example, our AI offering assists developers writing code, operates completely in the GitLab.com infrastructure, and provides the same level of security as any other feature on GitLab.com. Right? There's also an option to use third-party language models. Currently, we've enabled to use Google's Cody language models, so there's an option to switch from one to the other, depending on the level of security compliance. So here you're seeing why and what we mean by one workflow. So it empowers every user throughout the whole development lifecycle. So there's quite a lot of things you can do here. There's quite a lot of features. So if we're going to go through every single one of it in detail. As of right now, we start with planning. You can summarize epics, summarize issue comments, because there could be quite a long list of them. You can create a merge requests within that. So within the merge requests, you can have code suggestions. There's suggested reviewer functionality, which would suggest who would be the best person to review this. You can summarize merge request changes. Then once you push the code, you can highlight and explain this code. You can then generate tested merge requests. Then after that, once you've done your scanning, you can explain this particular vulnerability that you might not know how to fix as a developer, for example. Then you can summarize the merge request review. And then at the very end, you can deploy. And there's quite a lot. There's also issues that we have in different stages. I'm going to also tell you what we're working on in the future. So this is sort of another list of what you've just seen. So everything is available right now on GitLab.com, and code suggestions is available on, or at least will be available in your future for open beta on self-managed. And that is basically the same list, along with a couple other things that I haven't mentioned. So I think what I haven't mentioned is the features that are going to be interesting for everybody is GitLab Chat. For example, you can, like GP Chat, you can ask questions in relation to GitLab and say, how do I set up runners? So it's going to give you a nice reply with documentation and tell you how actually to do that. There's also value stream forecasting. So if you're familiar with the value streams within GitLab or what they are, based on historical data, it will tell you what the value stream forecast is, which is also fairly great. And I think everything else that we have already covered in a previous slide. So let's go through the rest. So now I think we're going to take a closer look at what is available. So in terms of our vision, I think it's split into two main areas: AI-assisted features integrated into the software development lifecycle, which is something I mentioned, and also AI-ops, the features that will allow customers to build and integrate data science workloads within GitLab. So let's take a look at both of them. So first of all, everything that you're seeing here is already available, which is great. And it's available on Ultimate, and code suggestions is available on Premium and Ultimate as well as an additional add-on. Now, Suggested reviewers. It helps customers do faster and high quality reviews by automatically finding the right people to review a merge requests. And the feedback I heard from GitLab itself, because obviously we use our own product, we heard that we were pretty good at assigning reviewers beforehand, but with the suggested reviewers, we became even better. So at least internally, we're hearing really great feedback about this feature. So suggested reviewers is the first user-facing GitLab machine learning powered feature. It leverages project's contribution graph to generate suggestions. And this data already exists within GitLab, including merge requests, metadata, source code files, and GitLab user account metadata as well. So once suggested reviewer is enabled and the data extraction is complete, the new merge requests or new commits to existing merge requests automatically trigger a suggested reviewer ML model inference and generate up to 5 suggested reviewers. These suggestions are contextual to the changes in the merge requests, which is, I think, quite awesome. And additionally, commits to merge requests may change the reviewer suggestions as well. So you actually would know, depending on the commits, you would know who would be the best person according to the commits you're making, not just whoever has worked more in that particular project, which I think is a fine level of detail to that. And it's available on ultimatecustomers.com and also is using GitLab native model. So for that, we're not using any third-party tools. This is something that we develop in-house, and we have actually been working on this for about a year and a half now at this point. So this is one of our sort of oldest features. Now, I think this is kind of the most famous one everybody talks about, code suggestions. It basically allows developers to write code more efficiently by viewing code suggestions as they type. It helps developers improve productivity, focus, and innovation. This capability is similar to the one of the Copilots. So the code suggestions are available to users of GitLab on SaaS by default and self-managed GitLab when requested. So there's a bit of a process you have to go through if you would like to have that enabled. It's also in VS Code and Microsoft Visual Studio when you have the corresponding GitLab extension installed. And also in a GitLab Web IDE, it can be used. So code suggestion is a generative artificial intelligence model. And what you'll need is your personal access token. And you will then have a secure API connection to GitLab.com. And this API connection securely transmits a context window from your IDE to your editor to code suggestions in GitLab hosted service, which calls either Google, Vertex, AI, Cody APIs, or our own. And then generated suggestion is transmitted back to your IDE editor. So this is the way it's working. And currently we're using Google's Cloud Vertex AI Cody API models as well, along with our own that we've been developing. So there's an option for using both. So explain this code. It allows you to get up to speed quickly on code you've been given to secure and operate, right? So deciphering the source code of a new software project can be daunting and at least time-consuming. So in this case, the code could be poorly documented or maybe written in a programming language that is unfamiliar to the developer or whoever is reviewing it. And even if the developer is familiar with the programming language, the code may be too complex or difficult to understand. So in this case, it's a helpful tool that actually you highlight it and actually explains what it does. So in this case, we're using a third-party model, and it's available for ultimate customers on .com currently. So generate Git commands in SelfHosted. So it allows you to discover, recall, and execute the many Git commands using natural language when you need them on your command line. So this is kind of fairly simple. I don't think that it requires a whole lot of explanation. It's also available for users that are members of at least one project in the ultimate tier on .com. And it's also a third-party model. So this, I think, this is the coolest one we have. With explain this vulnerability, will allow users to identify an effective way to fix the vulnerability by combining a basic vulnerability information with insights derived from their own code. So GitLab surfaces vulnerabilities that contain relevant information However, more often users aren't sure where to start. So it takes time to research and synthesize information that is, that you have within that vulnerability report, what to do with it, essentially. And moreover, figuring out how to fix it, a given vulnerability, can also be difficult. Sometimes it requires collaboration with security and just overall collaboration within the team. And again, to help teams identify an effective way to fix vulnerability within the context of their specific code base, we've released this feature that provides GitLab AI-assisted vulnerability recommendations, leveraging the explanatory power of large language models. This capability combines basic vulnerability information with insights derived from the customer's code to explain the vulnerability in context. It demonstrates how it can be exploited and provide an example to fix it as well. It's available for ultimatecustomers.com, and we're using Google Model for that. This one, I think, has been, based on my experience, also a customer favorite because it helps security and QA teams members write regression tests to prevent security problems from occurring in the future. So sometimes what I'm seeing is the tests aren't always being created for the code that's kind of been merged. So I think this is a great addition for a lot of companies that at least I'm talking to. So and proposing changes and new features via merge requests obviously is great, but companies are always, what about the tests? And I think this is something that will fill the gap. And that sometimes can be the harder part, right, of any changes you make. So sometimes developers not sure where to start writing the tests. Maybe the test doesn't cover all the scenarios that need to be tested. That is on its own a huge, I think, task. And maybe you just need a second opinion as well. And I think at least in GitLab, we believe that we can use generative AI and large language models to help provide relevant test coverage for the proposed changes. So the reviewers and others can have the confidence in the quality of the changes that they've just submitted. So it's available for ultimatecustomers.com, and then also we're using third-party model. So GitLab issues are pretty much essential for team collaboration, and they serve as the source of truth for teams to align on a problem definition and a scope of work for ongoing efforts. And as teams collaborate on issues to refine them, the volume of comments grows. For issues with many comments, it can be challenging to understand the status at a glance. You might need to spend significant time reading comments to get an overview of decisions made so far. So we have GitLab issues that are super long, maybe 4 years, and there could be hundreds of comments. I'm personally very excited about that because it gives me a summary of what has been talked about, and actually I'm very quickly updated on what the context is. So also using a third-party model here and available for ultimatecustomers.com. Now, so merge request, summarize merge request changes. So again, they are another point of the central point of collaboration for code changes in GitLab. And they often contain a variety of changes across many files and services within a project. And often merge requests communicate an intent of change as it relates to an issue being resolved. But also might not describe what the change was to achieve that. So as review cycles progress, the current state of the merge request can become out of sync with the realities of the proposed changes. And sometimes developers also aren't very good at updating that. So we're using, again, large language models to help provide relevant summaries of merge requests and its proposed changes. So the reviewers and others obviously can spend more time discussing the actual changes and less time keeping descriptions updated as well. So for that, we're using a third-party model and available for Ultimate customers. Now, summarize my merge request review. So during the course of review of a merge request, you might sometimes leave too many comments. This particular comments may have a specific information about things that need to be changed or context of why you're leaving feedback on the proposed changes. If you've left a lot of comments, it might be too hard to remember, right? Everything that you said and what the author should look at to resolve your feedback. So my review quickly summarizes changes you recommend making. If there's too many of them, great. We have a nice summary. I think this is very similar to the one with issue summaries, also using third-party model and available for ultimate customers. Now, and GitLab Chat. So because everyone can contribute at GitLab, and as a platform, we offer a variety of features. Sometimes it's hard to know everything what GitLab is capable of. So I personally use this feature as well because I need documentation changes, features change, and sometimes I need a better way of looking things up, and GitLab Chat helps with that. And it's a great feature. So we use AI to create a chatbot that answers how to questions about GitLab products. It responds with an explanation around links to our documentation. So it has allowed to save a lot of time for us. And this is the value stream forecasting, where enterprises can now kind of predict deployment frequency based on historical data. It's also available for ultimate customers on .com, and we're using a third-party model. I think we're now finished with what GitLab is currently offering and moving towards what our AI Model Ops vision is. So we're going to take a look closer at our roadmap for Model Ops and what we are looking to release soon. So what is Model Ops? It is data ops and ML ops together. So Model Ops is everything you need to do to add AI to your applications. Just like we're adding it to GitLab, we know customers like you are adding it to the software as well. And we want to support enterprises in adding AI and ML to the applications that you're building and deploying using GitLab. And we started building the functionality in 2021 as a partnership with one of our enterprise customers and broader GitLab community. We recently expanded this by natively supporting ML flow, enabling AI and ML experimentation within GitLab. And earlier this year, we introduced an integration with MLflow, a popular open source tool for data science experiment tracking. Our goal is very simple. We wanted to help you be more productive and efficient and enable customers to ship AI with their applications faster, with higher confidence, and to be all managed within GitLab. In GitLab 13.9, which was, I think, February 2021, we introduced support for self-hosted GPU runners, which enables any GitLab instance to connect self-hosted GPU-enabled runners to make them available to any GitLab pipeline as well. What was that done? We wanted to help you be more productive and efficient and enable customers to ship AI with their applications faster with higher confidence as well. And recently, with 16.0, we've released SaaS GPU runners, which enable customers, again, to easily and cost-effectively access GPU-enabled hardware to the same goal. So you can ship AI faster within applications. And later this year, we're planning to introduce a model registry, so allowing customers to store, version, deploy, and track the health of their AI ML models natively within GitLab. So we want to make sure that you're productive and efficient and enable you to ship AI features with the applications faster. And on the left-hand side, it's everything that is available today. It's everything that we've gone through, GitLab Chat, value stream forecasting, and on the right-hand side, it's everything that we are currently working on. And there will be more, but this is just a kind of a small list of what we are going to release. So I'm personally excited about the vulnerability report summary because I think that is going to be a great addition to functionality for security, at least. But everything else is quite interesting as well. So I think at this point, we have quickly covered through everything that GitLab currently offers. And hopefully you have learned a little bit here and there about what we offer, what the features are like. But I think you're seeing the trend here. Most of the features are available on gitlab.com, and there's only code suggestions that can be enabled or self-managed. So if you have any questions, please do ask. Other than that, I hope this was a useful 30 minutes for you. And yeah, more than happy to answer any questions. Other than that, thank you for coming. I appreciate your time. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. So we're going to hang out here for about 5 minutes and take any questions. Oh, you're more than welcome, Jory. Thank you for coming. Thanks, John. Thank you for coming. I'm just going to stop sharing the screen, but if you have any questions, please do ask. No problem, Roman. Thanks for coming. All right, I think we're at this point, we're good to go. Thank you everyone again, and we are going to be closing down the webinar. So thank you, Justin, for coming over and helping. So I'm going to be closing it down. Bye, everyone. Bye.